Hi there, I'm Dean Heskin, President and CEO of Swiss America Trading. Thank you for tuning in to today's podcast. Today I have joining me Steve Moest, one of our more tenured senior account representatives. Good morning, Steve. How are you?
I'm very well, Dean. Thank you. Good morning to you as well.
Well, thank you so much. And Steve's doing well. Steve's got a lot going on in his life right now on top of the work and all the things he's been doing with his clients here recently. He's got a daughter who is about to graduate from physical therapy school. And actually, she was just recently engaged and is going to be relocating to Missouri. So, Steve, you've had quite a full plate here this summer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's all very exciting stuff and just the next progression in our lives as a parent.
Yeah, well, isn't that the truth? And congratulations to you, to her, to Holly, your wife as well. Thanks for joining us. And I know you've had a careful eye on the evolving scenario that's been referred to as BRICS. A few episodes ago, we talked about BRICS, which Chris Agalesos explained was this financial alliance between Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, hence the acronym BRICS. That's how it began anyway. And now they're reporting there's over 20 countries that have jumped on board. Two interesting aspects to this alliance that stand out is, number one, the gold backing that BRICS has to offer rather than the fiat currencies of the rest of the world, which are just a piece of paper backed by confidence, specifically the dollar in terms of fiat. But secondly, this group has been very vocal of their desire to literally dump the US dollar. Now, yesterday, Elon Musk weighed in on this developing situation of BRICS. And can you explain a little bit about what he said and what he sees happening, Steve?
So, what he's talking about here is, his concern that with these nations' desire to separate from a currency, the dollar, not backed by anything other than the faith of people, coming back to the United States home to roost. These countries replacing the dollar or their use of the dollar with this new currency. I think nations have awoken, understanding the problems that we have here. Unfortunately, many of our people haven't quite come to that conclusion yet. And this is one of our missions here, to further educate people in understanding what much of the world is already seeing.
Well, it's amazing too, as I've kind of been watching it as well, just how quickly, it's happening. I mean, we're talking within months, we go from just starting off with these 5 nations to now all of a sudden, like say, it's over 20. Well, and Thanks for that, Steve. Related to this, something somewhat monumental occurred a few days ago as well. India made a very sizable oil purchase using rupees rather than the US dollars. And for those tuning in who might not understand the significance of this, one of the major strengths of the US dollar, as well as the US economy, is that for nearly 50 years, all oil purchases have been basically required to be done in US dollars.
That's right.
And what this did is it created tremendous demand and strength in our currency. Now, with this shift by India, as well as the progression of BRICS, like you were just explaining, it seems like a 180-degree reversal for our currency and likely our much enjoyed good fortune here in our country. I guess, Steve, what do you think about India's recent move, and do you have any perspective as to whether or not we'll see more of this in months ahead?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that this is just the beginning of more of this sort of behavior to happen globally. And again, the more that this happens, the less dependency on the dollar is going to have grave effects on we, the American people here. So be prepared, take some action.
Yeah, as the old expression goes, all roads in this arena, if you will, point to gold, it would seem. That's what's making BRICS so popular, is the fact that it has that gold back. And we've been hearing about central banks for years now who have been just ramping up their gold reserves like nobody's business. The time for you and I and people tuning in, the average American, to be positioning a portion of their assets into gold could not be better than it is right now. Steve, I thank you for your time and kind of sharing this with us. It's a very evolving situation, this one with BRICS. And it ties into, the title of our podcast, The Secret War on Cash, which The Secret War on Cash is a report that we had prepared a few years ago. And it has been our most sought after requested report we've ever had in the 40 plus years we've been in business. And I would encourage anyone listening or tuning into this podcast, watching the podcast, feel free to contact our offices, get a free copy of this Secret War. There's no obligation for it. You can contact us at 1-800-289-2646. That's 1-800-289-2646. Or visit us online at www.swissamerica.com, all one word, www.swissamerica.com. So again, thank you, Steve. Thank you for those tuning in for this most recent episode here of The Secret War on Cash. I'm sure we'll have more to talk about in the future about BRICS and some of the other things. But for now, thank you. Have a great rest of your day. Again, I'm Dean Heskin, President and CEO of Swiss America, and we'll see you next time.